Hello, Fan and Fries fans, and welcome to another community race night, or day, or afternoon, wherever you are. This is Baron's Hero's Journey, a race between Judge Joe, Tybalt, and other members of the community not on Restream, and I am joined by NG Dave. Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing great this afternoon. Looking forward to this race. We have Dark Knight Cecil's Journey.
Yeah, so this flag set is all about doing all the things that Dark Knight Cecil needs to take care of in the vanilla game. So, burning Mist, defeating the Mist Cave boss, et cetera, et cetera. All these early game checks, which on a randomizer, in a randomizer, these are all things you tend to do early anyways, besides maybe like Waterfall. And we do need the package key item, but otherwise, it could go pretty quickly. However, there is one other twist. Do you want to explain that, Dave?
If, however, the package or something gating the package or Zeromus is out of deals, then you can complete it. But you must do everything else first.
I think you might have cut off half of that. I only heard
sorry about that.
half of that. Actually, it's okay.
Yeah, short version, DK must keep DKC at all times unless absolutely necessary to transform because ordeals is hard required.
Yep. They cannot upgrade Dark Knight Cecil into his infinitely more useful form of a paladin. And since it's Sea Hero, the agility is going to be based off of that Dark Knight Cecil. And even though he's an early game character, his agility is still higher than you want it to be.
And DKC is a speedy boy. I think he's 13 agility at base level.
Yeah, something like that. And if you want to put like a useful black sword on him, which early game could be very handy, will make him even faster. But yeah, where the seed goes really depends on depends where that package is, and passes are in shops, so you could get a seed. We were talking about this in the booth, pre-booth. You could get a seed where you start with the package and darkness shows up pretty early, or a pass shows up in one of the shops overworld, and then it's kind of like, go.
Yeah, the old panic, figure out how you're gonna beat Zeromus trick.
The good old Hook 2 Electric Boogaloo, remember that?
I wasn't around for Hook 2, but I've heard the stories.
Yes, it's very storied. A race during Zeromus Zone 3, I want to say, between 20-something people all competing to get one, I want to say, spot, maybe two, but I think it was one spot to keep going in that tournament, and it was like instant go mode. Classic race. Anyway, we're off.
That's a fantastic starting duo.
Okay, and that is a hook. This flag set, I believe, is a force. Oh, okay. We probably always start with black, huh? The starting kit. Anyways.
Yeah, we have the football kit, which gives the black sword.
Yeah, okay, so we always have that useful... it's Dark Knight Cecil's, best weapon. I was about to call it an endgame weapon in, major air quotes, because, you don't have them for very long. But good to have early. Anyways, starting Hook. I believe we were forced magma on this flag set, so Hook is not our logical underground access. That magma key is going to be somewhere else.
Right. Of course, we may not ever come across it because it could be on ordeals.
That's true, and I suppose in the spirit of the flag set, I don't know, that's that's an interesting edge case. I suppose in the spirit of the flag set, you would go down the Hook route. So we see free characters are on, and Tella is in his vanilla spot, one of his vanilla spots, just sitting here in the waterfall, or yeah, in the watery pass. And Mylon Zed has taken up residence in the Outline Cave.
Not really who you're looking for to defeat with the Dark Knight Cecil.
No,
We do have
the
these healing items for it.
Yeah, Black Sword. Black Sword does let you take on that boss right away without it being too slow. But Mylon Zed kind of resists it, but doesn't like Cure 2, so yeah, Tibble gets through it pretty fast.
Okay, that's just funny.
Well, wild shops are on, by the way. And that crystal sword.
Yeah, the first shop we check it, Alchemy is just taunting our runners at this point.
Uh-huh. Yep, that's a crystal sword. That's a cool, what, 200,000 something? Doesn't matter. You can't wear it. Cecil's a Dark Knight, and because it's Sea Hero, you will never get another copy of him. Actually, even if you did, they'd all be Dark Knights. That'd actually be pretty funny. But anyway.
You could do that in the Pixel Remaster Rando.
That's true. Shout out to Game Boy's Pixel Master Fabul Gauntlet Rando. It's a fun time. If you ever wanted to know what fighting 3 blue dragons and like 5 evil masks was like, at the very, very top end, that rando's for you.
Pain. The answer is pain.
It is. Actually, it's pain in animations, really, because the evil masks like take 10 million years to do their thing. But also physically painful.
That's a spoon from Edward.
Edward says, please, my best weapon, take this.
Yes,
You just kind of look at him and you're like, okay. Sorry, buddy.
I pass this spoon on to you.
We're either going to find an edge to throw it. Maybe Ed will get out of bed and show up somewhere else. And then he could put it on, or we'll use it for ice cream. Who knows?
To scoop up the vanilla we've been finding in this seed.
Oh, also shout out to the White Spear Gungnir combo in the front of in the back of Watery Pass here. It's pretty funny. At the back or the front? I always mix this up for some reason.
That's a pair of darts. Oh, I guess they could be used for other things, but
Alchemy, our restreamer and flagset designer, and club owner of Baron Hero's Journey, reminding us that most of this club features no dupes and permajoin, but this flagset does not. I imagine to keep it a little more kind, considering the Dark Knight Cecil. Okay. Hold on. I need to collect myself before I explain what happened. So Black Sword has a swoon proc. It's part of its weapon effect. And we see it in effect against the Baron Guards, which will have the boss bit. Rosa almost certainly has a power staff on, and Joe tried to berserk, because that weapon berserks on hit. But she kind of overdid it a little bit. And Cecil just died instead. It's fine. It's fine.
So what you're saying is Rosa did a little bit too much percussive maintenance on Cecil.
Oh, far too much, yeah. All right, we have a little diversion. So Tybalt is going to go down the hook route immediately to see... That's funny. Thanks for the Black Sword game. I already have one. Gets to see... I would say these are gated shops, but it's us wild, so they could be literally anything. Speaking of, moon veils in Fabul. Pretty neat. But this is a character check for Tybalt, and he has that Tellus, so you can exit out. So it's not too much of a time investment. You also know what that boss is, like just in case you don't find magma. Meanwhile, Joe
Right.
has decided to run to football. Go ahead.
Right. Because we know it's forced magma, you're probably not actually taking this route, so you're not in too much danger of double dipping. And hey, those are adamant armors.
Yeah, I'd most likelihood. And oh, yeah, adamant armors are on. There's X-Cal. So we've found both crystal and X-Cals. Adamant armor is very expensive and very, 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 very good. In fact, it would be amazing against this Golbez. And really, everything. Golbez is not necessarily free at such a low level.
Right.
We are pretty fast with that black sword.
Mm-hmm. I think this spot has 2 rolls of spell damage, but a 2 roll at 3 is still going to drop 3 of our party members.
Yeah, 2 roll at 3 is still a big pile of damage. The virus is not going to tickle either. Alright, so we find Kane as our hook route character. I just missed what that boss was, but whoever it was,
They were dolls.
Dolls, thank you. We likely will not have to deal with them.
That's fine. Just find Fusoya somewhere. If all my time playing 9% has taught me anything, is that there's always like 4 Foos in the seed.
Certainly could be. We've definitely got a... Is that 2 Canes? I think that's 2 Canes in Tybalt's party. Oh,
Don't see the problem.
Okay, we're just looting. Okay. Tybalt's gonna also take the chance to fully loot this cave. Really, really, really wants money. Trying to bankroll that adamant armor. And okay, actually the viruses do a lot less than I thought. And Sid is surviving, whether by luck or intentional. Yeah, 263. Yeah, it's actually a lot easier than I thought.
1 roll, I thought it was 2, but...
Yeah, 2 rolls would have been a lot worse for... I mean, it would have been double damage, but yeah.
It also wouldn't have been an odd number.
Yep. This is where we would canonically get our Dark Sword, but instead we have Darkness. That is 1/2 of Go mode. We do need a package. Package could be literally anywhere. I want to say this is K-Main Summon Moon?
Yep, it's everything but traps, so...
yeah. This is a package hunt for Joe. And it will be for Tybalt eventually, whether he chooses to fade ordeals for a little bit or does it early. He will eventually get that darkness. Let's see if Tybalt scrounged up enough cash money. Has he dug deep into his wallet? The couch cushions. Look, we're even robbing the infirmary here. We really, really, really want money.
Tybalt's got the piggy bank out, smashed it with a hammer.
Okay, to the weapon shop. Oh, sorry, yeah, weapon armor. 71,000 and found like a couple ninja shirts, drain spears. Yeah, we got the money. Almost.
Nowhere near.
No. Okay, well, check out. You could chuck that white spear. No, even though it's Kane's best weapon. Aha, okay. So I don't normally buy adamant armors. I didn't realize it was 500,000. We're gonna have to come back.
Expensive.
Now,
the
as
white
chat's
spear
pointing
gets
out, they could just show up in trap chests. So that's something to think about, and I think Tybalt is about to probably loot for money. I think we're a little low. I don't know if we started with... If we have, like, hourglasses, the Black Sword can do pretty good work. Crystal Ring's a great pickup, by the way.
Speaking of Evelyn, Joe found some interesting things over in Troya. I saw Vodka's when I saw Hourglass 2s.
Oh, that's the place to be. Strength Rings are even pretty decent.
Those Hourglass 2s are nice for getting through Evelyn Castle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Stardust Rod would be nice. Looks like we're going to sell to try to buy it for Tella. If we have the money, we might not. Here, what would you
60
take for the Shadow Sword? 300? Okay,
60
thanks.
G's, still a hard ask at times.
It is, especially, you know, this is T Wildish, so like good loot is everywhere, but you have to spend that time looting, and looting takes time. Sometimes, you know, you might just be like, I'll come back later, or I'll see if I can find power without having to loot much, or like I'll loot along the way to clearing the seed, and Joe's still got early game power, so not being able to afford Stardust, not the end of the world.
And Alchemy pointing out, yeah, this feels a whole lot like Potion Party right now.
Very similar, yeah. This is one of our two upcoming league style tournament flag sets. Potion Party features S Wild and T Wildish money, which means instead of the items, you get the sell value straight from the boxes. So, I mean, you actually get the items here, but it's still very similar of, my experience is with S Wild, you could literally never have enough money. And yeah, we see Tybalt desperately trying to find every source of cash available. This is still nowhere near. Nowhere near.
Yeah, you never have enough money, especially if you're trying.
500,000.
Especially if you're trying to finance adamant armors.
Yeah, having this like the view that we do, I would love to have those hourglasses instead and just do Eblin.
Agreed.
You could, as a runner, think like, well, maybe I'll get hourglasses along the way, or coffins. Coffins would also be really good. And then the trap chests, especially in Eblin Castle, are very likely to have tier 8s in them, which could be an adamant armor.
And Judge Joe goes to Baron Inn, and we find something interesting there.
Mighty Mast. Mighty Mast.
This is Edward we're going to pick up.
We do have that spoon from Edward. Now he's this is, Edward likes to travel. All right, Evil Wall is it's not nice, but Silk Web is going to help a lot. This spot is incredibly slow and it has variable agility, so it could, how fast it goes really just depends on how it wants to roll. Silk Web is going to really make sure it punches very infrequently. And yeah, we see everybody take turns, including Tella, before this thing even really takes an action. So we're going to be fine.
Oh, we do see the
Does get
Berserk
that Berserk off. Yep.
This time Rosa holds back a bit.
Yeah, would kind of like to see that Tella picked up, but I mean, Joe knows what he's doing for sure. Yeah, everyone's getting like 3 rounds of actions in, so it'd be a little annoying if Cecil drops to this next punch, but otherwise, this looks pretty safe. We may need to actually heal Dark Knight Cecil though.
That's fine.
But yeah, we're okay. Joe taking the principle very well of pushing damage and really knowing kind of that line of what's safe and what's not. So didn't need to pick up Tella, knew that he could just get through that fight. And we do get our underground access. Baron Inn has the Magma Key.
Okay, so no Magma ordeals forcing us to take the hook route.
Indeed. Like Grunt in chat just said, we can unironically get underground now.
Which is good, because none of us have to channel none of us have to, monotone that.
None of us have to channel me.
I was going to say the energetic side, but hey, you perfected that.
I mean, monotone is, like, I didn't choose the monotone life, but if I'm not paying attention, I have to really actively work If I'm just like really not paying attention, just talking, yeah, I can get very monotone. So I'm glad that it it could lead to something funny.
One of the funniest things I heard come out of that tournament.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun.
We ourselves a turtle taking a bath. That's thematic, I guess.
Thematic. Yeah, thematic. That's kind of the fun thing about doing comms, by the way, which if you ever wanted to do comms or restream or help us with the tracking, which is probably where you would start, join our team, join our restream team. Go in our Discord. There's a link in our guides channel. I want to say somewhere near the... It's somewhere in there. There's a bunch of links, but one of them is to join the restream team. Really great folks. Really great chance if you ever wanted to do commentary in general or just be part of the community. We're more than happy to have you. I mentioned this because having joined the commentary team for some time now, I've learned that like people glom on to like certain things that you might say, and I'd say this for like a lot of different commentators, right? I'm just talking about the whole like, you know, yay, we can get underground thing, but I mean, I've seen YouTube comments appreciating, you know, various commentators, folks in Discord, you know, will mention, and they're happy to see a certain somebody. And I feel there's a lot of love for a lot of different people, a lot of different styles. So I really like, I don't know, I really appreciate that, you know, being doing commentary here. It's pretty fun.
That's interesting.
Waterfall this early, I will say, is a little slow. I kind of like putting it off. During that entire spiel, Joe has still been in this fight. The Waterfall is notorious for being really fast, the Waterfall boss, because it's normally Octomam and you're supposed to like knock the tentacle downs and it loses speed, but you know, it's not really a thing here. Like, there's a world I figured not. There's a world we didn't have enough damage for those remedies, but really it was just time consuming.
Yeah, you had to get Edward back up to scoop up the turtle.
But that's right, we're through. That's another objective down for Joe. And he really, really just needs that package now.
And now Joe's asking that question, where is my package? Where have you hidden it?
Literally anywhere.
You have access to... Go ahead.
I'm going to call. It would be the funniest, and by funniest I mean trolliest, if package is on ordeals.
Just because it forces us to do literally everything in the seed to complete the meta.
It would become a full clear seed, yes, and then you would have this base level Cecil to run to Zeromus with.
Which, if you find a curse string, is perfectly fine.
Oh yeah, it is. Also, you know, I'm going to say hopefully not, so our runners don't have to do, you know, the entire seed, but like conceptually in my head, it's very funny.
That was the other thing we were discussing could come up. We could just go slightly trolly and put it behind, say, a Beigen and K value.
Yeah, that would be rude. Certainly doable. We have adamant armors available in this flag set. Eventually our runners will get the money, or find them in a box. Like, there's a lot of good tools. Alchemy is kind of set up in this flag set that, yeah, you have one of the worst heroes possible, but you know, you've got all the characters, at least eventually. Fusoya's out there somewhere. You know, there's ways through.
Speaking of Fusoya, has either runners actually checked who's in? Never mind. Joe's going there now.
Oh yeah, free characters. These are this would be Palamon Porum. Instead is
Okay. I feel better now.
Just will him into existence. Well, there's Mark. By Mark I mean Fusoya. At least oh no.
Oh, hi,
no,
Mark.
Okay, Yang is Mark. It's Hampson. Pardon me.
Oh hi,
Hampson
Mark.
is
Oh
not
hi,
joining
Mark.
the party. Do you know what that naming scheme is Well, Gilbert.
No idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Hampson, Escad. I'll have to ask Joe after this. I got excited for Mark, I'm not gonna lie, but you know, Mark turned out to be the Yang. Sorry, Mark.
Fiery pointing out, yeah, we could have had a food in the first 2 minutes, so our experience with 99%ers is still accurate.
Yes. Would have been helpful probably for Baron Inn and Waterfall specifically. I don't think Vanilla Fu is on. Actually, yeah, his point total, it's not, so his starting spells are not very good. So he does start with the Lunar Staff. So he might not have been super helpful for the first couple bosses, but you know, pretty quickly he'll get like a tier 3 elemental or a virus or something. Would have been pretty good. But hey, we've got him now.
Or just get 1000 HP nuke. Easy.
You know, there's a world. It's very uncommon, but there's a world, and I think we're gonna check. I was gonna say we'll check now, but we can check in combat too, what his spells are. Edward, time to get geared up.
Yeah, no power shirt, but adamant, or no adamant, power shirt is 1/7 the cost. We're fine with that.
Oh yeah, power shirt. Edward, all Edward really needs is strength. Like, desperately needs strength. You gain so many more multipliers by putting on something like a power shirt. And of course that he drops immediately, and sort of DKC. But we have plenty of hourglasses, and by plenty I mean 2.
I had 2. DKC had queued one up before getting punched.
Yep, so DKC kind of dropped one in his hands, and Fu's gonna die. Yep. Alright, retry. It was just unlucky. That was really unlucky targeting.
And would you like second Fusoya?
Oh dear. Well. I get this feeling Tybalt's gonna forget Mystidia, the entire seed. But it it won't end up mattering. Though I mean 2 Fus is also pretty good. Yep, Tybalt says, alright, I'm happy, got my character. Gonna go back. Joe really wants this experience from the hair dryers. It is a big boost if we can get them dead.
I think it's the principle of the thing at this point.
Yeah, also, he knows the setup. He just needs, yeah, he needs DKC in the back to not die.
Well, on the white magic side of things, I see Berserk. That seems good.
Yep, Berserk's very good. Gonna help that Eddie just chew through the rest of these. Can even life glitch these. Life glitch, of course, for anybody who might not know. If you throw a life potion at a dying enemy, you get credit for the kill twice. They basically revive and then die again.
It's honestly kind of horrific if you think about it.
Oh, yeah. You're kind of like, yeah, playing with their life a little bit.
You kill them, then revive them just to kill them again. It's...
I mean, they die on their own. I'd like to think of it like, you know, we're trying to help them, but they just can't. No, we know.
But we're really bad at it.
We know what we're doing, though. Yeah, we're just really bad at it. Just star. All right, so Tybalt's gonna all Edward here. So yeah, Joe actually missed what that trap chest was, but he got all that experience, which was really the reward.
It gave a ninja star, not exactly.
Okay, it was that. My brain was like, surely that ninja star just came from a chest in like Baron Inn. Surely it wasn't that bad. No, it was that bad.
No, it was that
bad. my brain tried to make sense of that. It didn't work.
He can roll tier 5. It rolled tier 5.
Yep, sure did.
There's no other way to describe it.
I mean, according to Final Fantasy, like 4, 5, and 6, the Ninja Star is like the Rockstar endgame item. It's there's always a plethora of them in those games' endgame dungeons. I don't quite know why. Maybe they're just like, hey, you have these ninja stars for the final boss or something. I don't know.
It's a filler item, I guess.
All right, Joe says, I have power. I have a foo. I have berserk. I have a spoon. Let's just go see what's at cave value. So speaking of package at cave value, it's not behind a Baigan, but Luge, pretty much free.
Yeah, this is one of the more polite bosses that could be here. This boss really doesn't use the spot's super high physical attack much.
No, not at all. It will punch, Bonham will punch Luge super hard, and that's about it.
And then Eddie will say, let me show you how it's done.
Yep. I like this play. Joe gets this early experience from the hair dryers and then plans to leverage it on at least some of the moon. We'll see how much of it he's interested in. I would still want to go underground because the K main key items are weighted much more heavily than K moon to give just key items in general. So it's more likely to find a package underground, but we're up here, we have the power. Maybe my opponent won't touch this fight for a very long time. Now, the Banab Z form will punch. You often want to kill the back one, but when you berserk, you don't really get a choice.
It'll also do this after a certain point.
But then it just kind of, yeah. And it hits the button and kills your DPS.
Now you said you don't know how much this. You said you don't know how much this boost Joe's gonna do. You know Joe as well as I do. You know the answer to that question.
I mean, it could very well be all of it. I think it is not the odds play to make, but it is a good play to make when you want to go a different route than your opponents, and very well could pay off. And that's the fun of randomizers is it's basically intentional gambling. Now this could be kind of annoying. All right, the beam is weak enough to not kill Eddie. A laser's gonna come out. I don't know that we've seen it in mission.
You're gonna need to heal. You're gonna need to heal Eddie here.
Eddie's gonna need to get healed. Ugh, by Sid. That laser is hit point based. Really just, oh, and he gets slept. Okay. All right, all right.
Yeah, the mission is why you had to heal Eddie. Eddie's gonna take more than 9.
Joe says, okay, all right, different plan. Medio, go. The heal will pick him up at least.
I see no problem with this Rock's plan.
I mean, Fu could just take a laser to the face, but...
Or, here we got on this, Eddie takes the laser to the face.
Yeah. Now, as chat's pointing out, Starveil is a good answer to the laser, but honestly, so are life potions. And yeah, we're through.
Hey, that's half a forge. We can make a Cecil weapon.
Legend sword. Yeah, just the legend sword. Kind of useless. Forge, I'm pretty sure is vanilla, so it's an Excalibur, which you could sell for money. Oh right, it's Sea Hero.
It's
right.
Sea Hero, so you could get a piggy stick, you could get a Gigant Axe.
Gigant Axe would be best. Actually, yeah, or Piggy Stick. Piggy Stick's like a little Excalibur. So actually, yeah, there's some value in that.
You could also get Fandango, which is my favorite named Supersmith weapon.
Yeah, it's also not very good. It has something like 40 power, right? It's not a good weapon.
I'd say it was good. I said I love the name.
But you have it, yeah. You could also get scrap metal or the Excalibur, which is the Caliburn in this. Called the Caliburn in this mode. Joe's gonna find his second foo. I imagine if he wants to run the moon that he's gonna pick this foo up. It's certainly better
Yeah.
than a Tella if he's still got Tella.
I think I agree with this
He
choice.
doesn't, but yeah, Sid's gonna go. Thank you for your service, old man. We are going to replace you with another old man.
With more glorious facial hair.
Yeah, we need we need more hair on this team, and Foo is just like hair plus 500.
And once Fu learns Nuke, that is a significant offensive boost.
Yeah, and even before that, he's got this very early Berserk, and Roser certainly has Blink. He might also have Blinks. I mean, he's a very good functional member of our party right now. I mean, this is really the Edward show until we can find that nuke.
And I'll be pointing out, Tybalt did Baron in and chose to not take the Edward.
Yeah, Tybalt says not really into Spoonward this seed. Spoonward does represent a lot of power, and especially with like adamant armor, the back row glitches on, power shirts were available if you found that shop. There is a lot of support. Edward can often be a liability and kind of a trap, in my opinion, depending on the flag set, especially if the back row glitch is off. But I think this is one where he could shine pretty well. However, we've got that Foo. Foo's still pretty strong. Kane has that white spear.
So we might just be deciding to leverage more durable characters rather than rely on Eddie.
Yeah, he could have also honestly forgotten about the spoon. I've certainly done it. You see Edward and think like, I don't want that. Kind of a natural reaction, really.
And Joe's side, we see something interesting about the Elements fight. Mylon Z here absorbs Holy.
Yeah. The Elements fight, the Fiends Redux fight, they were really cheeky. Double media. They were really cheeky about their weaknesses. They very specifically have like Mylon Z's very specifically weak to fire and absorbs. I want to say everything else.
I think that's true.
So if you cast an off element and Meteo is the holy element, this game, yeah, you get that. Which is awkward because the Mylon Z form of elements is still weak to healing. He's still undead. He just doesn't really care about your Meteo. Meanwhile, Tybalt has found.
Yeah, this is a Dwarf 2 gauntlet. This is not nice.
No, but this is vanilla gauntlet. So, the way the vanilla gauntlet works, which these days we don't see very often, because I think the randomized gauntlet is just more interesting. But vanilla gauntlet, every one of its enemies in all these formations out of 6 fights, I want to say, splits up the total hit point value of the spot amongst all of them. They have no health.
Right, so it's more just annoying because you're splitting 3,002 HP among all of this.
Yeah, it's just very time consuming. But I mean, you could basically cough on these enemies and they will die. But yeah, just from a time perspective, it is pretty frustrating. And yeah, vanilla gauntlet is certainly easier in almost all cases than the actual gauntlet. So it's definitely, for this flag set, it's good to have on because, again, the theme of this flag set is, yeah, you've got this awful Dark Knight Cecil hero anchor, but everything else about this seed is attempting to be, pretty kind.
And our tracker
Plus, also, like Alchemy says, You could see the vanilla Fabul gauntlet at Fabul. That is cute. Sorry, go ahead.
That's good. And our tracker is pointing out a.
Yes.
Do we have warp?
We do now. Literally
Okay.
now, after that fight.
Hashtag never punished.
Hashtag planned. Not gonna lie, I've done that before. Just kind of YOLO'd Dwarf Castle and was like, well. And then you get the warp like in the first or second fight, and you're like, yes.
And I've been on the opposite side where you YOLO Dwarf Castle and warps at 1800. Like, Fu will be at 17, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
All right, our warp glitch into the sealed cave reveals a Masamune. Tibble's
Sure.
gonna keep that for money.
And
Still, I'm sure has adamant armors on mind.
That's going to the Adamant Fund.
Uh-huh. The adamant treasury fund. Sand Ruby is on a flag set with free characters and you've already got a good party. Probably don't care about the Sand Ruby. So Dwarf Castle is a bit of a bust. You really just need a package.
Who would you take from Sand Ruby at this point?
Edge with that Masamune, perhaps. But to be honest, I wouldn't even go Chuck. But like if it were an objective or something and a character happened to be there, I would pick up an Edge. Or would I pick up a third Fusoya? Huh.
Oh, yeah.
I might.
I forgot this glitch was on until we just saw it performed. Fusoya now has Boomerang HP, or MP.
Yes, the MP glitch that underflows the MP, and the SNES doesn't really know how to display numbers greater than 255 if that number's not meant to have more than that. So it just kind of displays random characters instead. Well, they're not random; they're predetermined, but from our perspective, they're kind of random.
Yeah, it's probably just their location on the ASCII table.
Yep. Which is shared with the numbers. Yeah, that's my guess. I'm not exactly sure. It would be kind of interesting to learn, actually, now that I think about it. But
I guess SNES didn't use pure ASCII because storage reasons.
Val is not a fun fight, by the way.
No,
it still has those evasion rolls, and Joe did not pick up one of the two canes along the way, so it doesn't really have a way to jump and make this faster. It is a little bit, maybe a little bit safer to keep her in tornado form. I mean, we're still punching for like 1 to 2k per hit. It's just time consuming. It's just not a fun fight.
Right, and those foos aren't doing any damage because Moon Valves all have perfect magic defense, or LST Valves.
Yeah, all the LST Vals do. The K value Valvalis, you can punch through. Actually, I want to say it doesn't have any magic defense. But we are not at K value. We are in the LST. Alchemy pointing out that apparently Joe and Lunar Valvalis just have a relationship at this point in this club.
I remember a race in this club from last season with the hard required Valvalis at Crystal Sword with 5 Rydias.
Oh dear. Did he whip through that or something?
One Rydia picked up an Adam Armor and a Mist Whip and got berserked.
Yep. You love to see it.
At least that was my way through it. I don't know about other. I think everyone did the same thing. Because really, what other answer do you have?
I mean, it's that or, I guess an arty bow.
True,
The only other thing I could think of, but a Mist Whip's actually it's a pretty reasonable weapon. You just never use it as a weapon because you don't really want to punch with Rydia. It's just got better things to do. But hey, when you need, when you need it.
a problem came along, and Rydia had an answer for it.
Yep.
Also, I think the Adam and Armor Dream may be dead. I've seen Tybalt shopping for other more support items.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of want coffins, you kind of want hourglasses. Like, you really want to put that money to use elsewhere. He's gonna find those power shirts and probably pick one up for the cane. If he even checks those shops. Definitely gonna find the Bacchus, the Star Veils. Really want all of that. Doesn't pick up the Bacchus. Maybe he had been here before and had them already. I'm not quite sure. Seems like he's been here before because he ran specifically to that shop, so he knew where he was going.
Yeah,
we are gonna
like
get a treasury. Yeah, we're gonna get a treasury check though. T, is it wild? I thought it was.
It's a
not
wildish. It's a wildish treasury.
Yeah, this should be pretty good. But Alchemy's the one who knows the flag. Yeah, T wildish, S wild.
See a Mas. I see all sorts of good stuff in here. Stardust Rod, Masamune, 2 Masamunes. An Artemis bow in there.
Pretty good. For Edge. The Artemis arrows are pretty good. No crystal swords for money. Defense sword is also reasonable. Kane already has a white spear, but the defense sword is technically better for Kane for most of his existence.
Agreed.
The Luca key, Joe doesn't know, but is not it. Actually, you have warp, so yeah, Luca key is kind of a bust.
I was thinking the double mosses from there would make Check the Sandry more interesting now.
It would.
Or,
well, I mean, we're gonna hawk it. Like, we've certainly at this point, right? The crystal glove, that
10K short, Tybalt, you got
words.
this. Sell the exit, sell the
drop.
yeah.
Sell the summer drop. Hell, even sell a couple coffins if you have to.
Sell the exit.
Is exit really worth anything?
1K, which is all you needed.
Oh. Perfect. We found it. We scrounged up everything we had and immediately goes on Fusoya.
You got food. You don't need the you don't need the exit item.
Oh yeah, no, you don't need it. I was just like, oh, what is that worth? 1K? Which is what he needed.
Okay, that's the moral victory for Tybalt. Dropping a $500,000 on an adamant armor.
Yeah. Ribbon's a little overkill on Tybalt. On Fu wearing the adamant armor. I'd like to see that on a different party member. But otherwise, yeah, I think the pretty good, pretty validated.
That's a fun Masamune spot. I think I would like to do anything else.
Yeah, Joe finding Odin at the Masamune altar is... The problem with Odin is that you're on a clock. Like, really, no matter what you do, you're on a clock. Edward, technically, can...
Yes, do we have a Thor Rage and some... And well, we have Slowcasters. Do we have a Thor Rage and a Blink?
And a couple slows, which we should have.
We got 2 Foos and a Rose. I'm fairly certain the slows are handled.
Yeah. I mean, well, on the blinks. So yeah, there is a setup here to do the Thunderstruck strat. You also just kind of have the damage if you wanted to go that route. I mean, Zerk up Edward and get people blinked up, though you kind of have to. You kind of need good RNG, and then get the Fusoya's casting. Ideally, nuke. I don't know that they have it yet. But yeah, okay, we see the slows coming out, so this is going to be setting up for Thunderstruck. Of course, Edward dies immediately.
Yeah, the slows give it away. There's only one reason you'd be double slowing to start this fight off.
Just need to pick the Edward up. And then he needs not get punched, so that we can get a blink onto him, and then we'll be fine.
We're fine. That was the 3rd punch.
Still need to get that blink out, and then get to his turn before the Zen Tetskin fires. And he does barely make it.
And we see why this is such a hard clock.
Yep, so the Odin, the Zantetskin comes out once. It's going to come out again. We won't see the animation for that because there's no party members kind of on screen. Then Joe's going to show the moment that second Odin fires. He's going to wait for the sword raise and then throw out a Thor Rage. Odin becomes weak to the lightning element at that specific moment. And it's a very tight window. It's a very, very tight window when you have a slow-ish anchor like this.
And this is going to be perfect because the lip bolt was cute before the sword went up.
Yeah, lip bolt also works. At battle speed 3, you can wait for the sword to go up and then throw it. But
And
yeah,
there we go. One Thunderstruck.
very well executed. Still doesn't have nuke. Gets an Excalibur, which is thanks game. It's cute.
We did see while this is all going on, Tybalt went into Zot, found a Sura at the first spot.
Finds a Sid, and this is your second shot at Edward. Would you like that Spoonward?
Are you sure you don't want Spoonward? You have an adamant now.
Come on, Spoonward. Spoonward.
Out of curiosity, I didn't see it.
No.
I didn't see it. Did Joe check what was in the ribbon room?
I don't know. Oh, it was DKC.
DKC. Okay, yeah. So just not a winnable fight right now.
The Foos should be able to survive it if they have Cure 4, but they probably
may
don't
not.
have Cure 4. I think they just got Cure 3 in that last fight. So yeah, he just needs a few more bosses killed to get the spells. Dark Imps at the Val spot, gonna get rocks. I will say, kind of notable, we're almost 50 minutes into the seed. Neither runner has gone underground yet. That package could just be sitting like...
Tybalt, at least...
Tybalt's gone underground. Has he gone to...
he did check the freebie.
The Feymarch?
He checked the freebie. There was nothing.
Okay, so he's gone down,
there.
because he got the Earth Crystal from somewhere. That's
Earth Crystal was... I think it may have been the freebie.
The freebie, yeah, okay. I'm gonna guess set up Sheila 1-2 as well then. I've been so focused on Joe's moon shenanigans. Baron Key from Zot is convenient. We're dropped off right in front.
More vanilla.
Vanilla Wyvern casts Demolish, which is the doors ability. So perfect targeting. Goodbye DKC. Time to chew through a Wyvern. Doesn't have...
27,000 HP here?
Yeah, it doesn't have wall. So just gonna Starvel up.
And let Eddie carve up the Wyvern as he's been doing to most things.
Yeah, and the wall helps because we're gonna get the second slow out. And if these Foos have any damaging spells, you can bounce them off the Starveil. You might not bother. Yeah, it's gonna pick up DKC just to, really just as a punching bag. Just hope it gets targeted with nuke. The one way that this fight goes south, yeah, who's gonna survive that? The one way this fight goes south is if you let like a couple party members drop, then it becomes more and more likely that nuke targets a party member you don't want to die, and it becomes kind of harder to keep the tempo of the fight. So I think it's wise to have all 5 party members up.
Right, and you're not, since it's Sea Hero, you're not worried about breaking an anchor.
Correct. Also, shout out to the white spell. Very smart to realize, of course, perfect targeting from Wyvern. Gonna lose that Starveiled Foo, but good to recognize of nuke or virus or quake that the white spell is still pretty good.
Someone outright dodged a nuke.
Probably. Oh.
Or went after
Well,
the dead Foo.
Yeah. I guess it could have targeted that, huh? Yeah, this spot doesn't have good, well, I'd say it doesn't have good magic attack stat, but I think the Wyvern sets its own, yeah, the Wyvern sets its own, magic power to start this nuke phase.
Yes, sets it to
So
3
always does
rolls.
this, yeah, it always does the same amount of, same range of damage. Of course, we say rolls, it's not visible, but behind the scenes, there's actually multiple, like, rolls of damage kind of happening.
Right, so you get the random 400 to 600 damage per nuke, and then it gets multiplied by however many. It gets multiplied by however many multipliers you have.
Yeah. Yeah, some Final Fantasies make that clear. Like, it'll show you that you hit, 2 or 3 times. Like Final Fantasy 1, notably, I want to say.
Yep.
But most
8
of
hits,
them...
8 damage.
Yeah. But, like, this one keeps that information hidden. So, Baron Castle, pretty easy at this point. Duplicate Rosa, not too interested. Really not too interested in very many party members. Again, Tybalt might take an edge, and I'd say that's about it. Well, actually, maybe also a Palom, or a Rosa. Like, would like probably reflex strats at this point. You do have to think about how you're killing Zeromus.
The problem is Tybalt hawked all of his Hanzo.
Oh, that's true. Set this for that adamant. Edge can still throw a spoon, but yeah, just Artemis arrows. So, Baron Castle itself not a hit. The Odin Throne is still down there. Could be a key item. And then I missed what did the Crystal Sword Altar have?
It had a power shirt.
Power shirt, yeah. So not the hit either.
And we're already wearing one of these. Guess you could throw it on Rosa?
I'm not against throwing it on somebody else just for the defensive value, but I don't think Joe's gonna bother, because the value that you get versus the time spent even putting the power shirt on when you're trying to go very, very, very fast is meh.
We see
our best armor stat really is the blink spell and cure 4. Speaking of cure 4, does not have it.
No, and cure 3 might not fight.
Okay, TKC.
I saw that.
I appreciate that.
Dark way. Let me show you. Oh, yours is better.
Yeah, no. Oh, yours is way better. Okay. He might need to kill that DKC or hold A, because he needs Fu's turn. He's trying to run buffer, which when the can't run message shows up when you run away at the start of the battle, ATB is always ticking, but when that message is up, it stops. It effectively gives you more time, but on most of the moon, or at least on 3 moon spots, doesn't really work.
So remember how we spent all the time looting and scrounging for 500k for an adamant armor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bahama basement had a pink tail.
Yeah, feels kind of bad. You went through all of Zot and Baron just to get a pink tail, but it's not too bad because
there's the package.
Yeah. Wow. Also, Food just learned Cure 4, which is kind of trolly. But yeah. Joe is deeply validated for finding that package in the ribbon room at a very aggressive play. Is gonna exit out. Needs to actually turn that package in and then think about how he wants to do this fight. He's got a couple Fusoyas probably ready to do this Zeromus fight already.
Yeah. If he hasn't already, might do a little round of shopping for elixirs.
Yeah, maybe Star Veils if he's low, I'm not really sure. He'll know where the Star Veils are, and if elixirs have been in a shop, they'll know that as well.
It's wild shops, so they're somewhere.
Also, incredibly thematic that Dark Knight Cecil was holding the package on a seat all about Dark Knight Cecil. I just want to appreciate that.
Yeah, this shopping trip begins. I think we're looking for some elixirs.
Yeah. What I love about the moon play is it's tough. In the current version of Free Enterprise, the way that the key item distribution works out, the moon and summon spots are just much less valuable for having a key item per spot that you check than the other like main checks. So it makes moon gambles really dangerous because they could turn up only a couple key items on the entire moon, for instance, and that's pretty much what happened here. But but in true randomizer fashion, sometimes you just hit. It feels really good when you do.
Yeah. Just dive an early moon and take a DKC.
Forehead. No, but really, really also what was fun about watching this feed from Joe's perspective is kind of how to take a near base level party and find stuff on the moon to do to get the power to get through the rest of it. So this is a good like educational seed for folks.
It shows the moon's not as scary as you think.
Yeah, well, and two Fusarias, that is an important distinction. Blink and Berserk and Spoonword were a part of that. So without the Fusarias, this moon was still very doable.
The Fusoyas helped in giving a bit of staying power to the party as well, just because their base HP is so much higher.
Yeah, I mean, they were important to the whole DKC plan, but Edward could have also just hid from that DKC, notably. I don't think Joe had the agility set up to get Edward to go early enough.
No, DKC
I'm not
is
actually
too
totally
fast.
sure, but yeah.
Both DKCs were too fast, actually.
Tybalt might have, well, Tybalt doesn't have the Edward, but the adamant armor could have helped in that regard. And no, Dark Arc, it would not have worked if you had 5 base level Porums. Trying to get anything going with 5 base level Porums is doable, but would require require a lot of gear, really.
Yeah, if we're doing this potion party, you'd require about $500,000 in gear.
I mean, a potion party, so S Wild in general, Heroine Robe, Artemis Bow, even Samurai Bow, Crystal Rings, Samurai Arrows, Artemis Arrows, like it's doable. You just have to find the shops and the money.
Yeah, Heroine Robe, Artemis Bow, Artemis Arrows, where the math is coming in.
Yep. You put that on pretty much anyone, and you've got a powerhouse. Heck, I've seen... I remember this distinctly in a tournament. It was either a tournament race or a community race. A runner utilizing a Heroine Robe and a Great Bow to very good effect early game. Great Bow not being a good bow at all, but it was still enough. That's how good the Heroine Robe is.
Yeah, the Great Bow's name, very much misleading.
Yeah, incredibly misleading.
Great marketing department, though. Tibalt's taking these D-Lunars. Are these at top of tower?
This looks like top of tower to me. Not the nicest place to find many bosses. This spot has pretty bad stats and a big pile of health. And against D-Lunars when you're on a bit of a clock before the breaths come out, it's a little annoying, but he's got a lot of power. Yeah, and is pretty effectively chewing through. All right, Joe needs to figure out. It's kind of gearing up, thinking about how he's gonna do the Zeromus fight. Has that adamant armor? Did he buy it? Did he find it somewhere? I just missed where
What,
he
the
got
adamant?
that from. Yeah.
Get ribbon room along with the package.
Oh, the ribbon room had it. Oh, that's the that's perfect. Here's your package, and here's a very useful tool for Zeromus.
Exactly. Who needs to spend $500,000 on it? Just go get your objective. It's right there next to it.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah, we see a lot of fussing with the party here. Joe needs Joe's looking for a pretty specific party order to take on Zeromus with. Might also possibly be interested in experience. But I'm gonna guess this is gonna be straight to Zeromus. 2 Fusoyas with nuke, presumably. You
Yes,
really
they
do
do.
want nuke. Yeah.
They have nuke. The awkward thing here is levels might make the Z fight harder.
Yeah, so he's gonna opt for Sheila. Sheila has a crystal sword. That's a good troll. Tybalt pretty smartly resetting all the way back to tower. Well, if you wanted to go somewhere underground, instead we're gonna go maybe to the moon. It would be a good choice for him. I want to say there's not much left for Tybalt to do either.
Okay, maybe we don't have nuke.
And okay, yeah, this makes sense. Without nuke, you really... The way that fighting Zeromus would work with this low-level party and Fusoya is that you're dealing enough direct damage to get Zeromus pretty low on health, and then reflecting the rest of the damage so that you skip the hit point refill in his script, which is there just because there's not enough room to give Zeromus all the health the developers wanted. Nuke greatly facilitates that plan.
Yeah, I'm looking through the spell list, and there is no nuke to be found.
Yeah, so it makes sense to go hunting for a little bit of experience first. Elements is unfortunate. I mean, he knew it was here, so he's coming back. It's unfortunate because this is half experience, but it's the boss check. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a good thing, given this is Sea Hero.
Yeah, more experience here makes things more awkward because it makes your anchor faster and the foos don't gain agility.
Yeah, at all. Yep, and there's nuke. And actually, funny enough, that pan might have driven Joe underground right away. I like checking key. Like if I do the top of moon and I get a good key item that's where like pans represents 2 key items, it's pretty tempting to just leave the moon and go check that. So kind of fortuitous that
they're both free.
That troll didn't show up. Yeah, very much so. So I would guess Tybalt very likely to take the same route here and go top down on the moon. You get a chance to check K value immediately. You don't have a lot of power in your party. So he sees that this Luge is here. It's very doable. It's split experience, but it's still going to be worth some. This party could use a little boost. And then in order of difficulty on the moon, the Murasame is canonically kind of the easiest. It's got a little bit less health, a little bit less stats, but still, difficult. And then kind of getting at the bottom of the moon. So you kind of get that experience on your way down. So I'm going to guess he goes that route, and we'll see. Luge has
the pan will be nice
his
here.
way to punching.
The pan will be nice here because it also represents a 10th key item, so so Tybalt's going to go more traditional Z fight. You'll get double XP.
Yeah, double XP would be good. It is kind of an awkward Z fight. You have... This is what I was saying earlier about thinking about the Zeromus fight. Now, Tybalt might be really familiar with Fusoya strats, so maybe we'll just go that way. If you try to do it traditionally, you have this one nuke caster and, like, effectively one berserker, because I don't... Well, no, he's got the defense sword and a white spear, so he's got 2 berserkers, if he didn't hawk either of them for that adamant armor. It's a little awkward, but imminently doable.
Right. It'll just be a And you've got enough adamant armors, you can just spread the love to your Zerkers as well.
Yeah. When you do these Zeromus fights, you tend to want like 3 really good berserkers or an entire mage party. But 2 Zerkers and supplementary nukes is also very, very respectable.
Especially because we have the big Zerker.
Oh yeah, I mean if you've got the crystal sword Cecil, like or the spoon word, you're real happy. But the spoon word's a little awkward to rely on at Zeromus. Loves to die to nerf big bangs out the gate, or a reflected nuke out the gate. Very, very, very unreliable party member at Zeromus because of his health growth.
It's a risk reward thing. Unreliable when it works. It's a thing of beauty.
Yep. Meanwhile, Zeromus, hi, we're here. This is Z. Things. Yeah, we don't really change where Zeromus is because it's just better this way. You really don't want big bangs at like Baronin. But we do randomize the sprite, as many of us in the community know. So who do you think? Who do you think we're gonna see, Dave?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Pink Puffmas.
That's a good one. I've yet to see. I haven't seen You Tried Miss in a long time. It's one of my favorites. We have Nubomus. That sprite's kind of. The more I stare at it, it's. I'm kind of scared.
It's a little terrifying.
Something about it's just the mouth and the the slight lean back. What is this? What is this from? I've seen it before.
No idea. Yeah, I've seen this fight before. I have no clue.
Yeah, me neither. Nubomus makes me think like what is that Tactics series? No. They say dude, not noob.
Yeah, you're thinking of Prinnies from Disgaea.
The Prinnies, yeah. My brain easily associates things that could be tangentially related like that.
Or the moment you said dude, I knew exactly what it was.
Well, I appreciate that at least. Yeah, and Tybalt is going to find go mode if he can get to this fight. The Cane's actually pretty useful. One of them's going to get to jump and hopefully dodge both.
That's the third wave we're through.
Waves. And actually, yeah, and the Cure 4 would go off. So, yeah, Tybalt is also going to be in go mode. And Scala, a resident art dev, who has done the vast majority of our Zeromus sprites, letting us know that this is a Japanese chocolate mascot.
Would explain why I've never heard of it.
Same. Also kind of terrified of this chocolate company. Like cute in a slightly off-settling kind of way. It does, Dryzalizer. This looks an awful lot like a peep, but like different, right? Like a distinct peep.
Looks like a peep that someone may have decided to toss in the microwave for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I love the variety of sources that we pull these sprites from. There's like near 600 or maybe over 600 at this point of these Zeromus sprites, and they don't all have to come from games. There's all sorts of great, inspiration to pull from. And Scala letting us know this is actually High Spirits, which is who's a streamer and fan of FE, uses Nubao as a mascot. So, little shout out to him having this sprite. It's pretty neat.
Dala in chat providing all the lore.
Yep. And yes, over 600 of these sprites. This is a lot. Big Bang not nerfed for Joe, and looks like that life was probably not mistargeted. Probably expected that second Fu to die, so it was a good preemptive life.
Top Fu has an adamant on, so fairly safe with adamant Stardust Rod.
Yeah, I've had reflected nukes target my adamant wearer Rosa and drop her immediately, so I sometimes I don't trust
That's-
that, but good
that's
on
why I
Joe to
didn't-
trust.
I didn't say completely safe. I've seen Adamant Armors eat 2K Big Bangs already.
Yeah, it gives you evasion rolls. That doesn't mean that you're safe.
Yeah, having evasion rolls is very different than making evasion rolls.
Yeah, but the most difficult part of this type of fight is dealing with the black hole phase. Because Zeromus doesn't really get out of this part of his script now, it is going to be black hole, shake, big bang for eternity. There's going to be a virus cast every, 2 big bangs, sort of in between that. So you just really have to manage and recover after each big bang. Hopefully nerfed, but sometimes, you don't have the time. So Joe's in a little bit of danger, yeah. This is tricky.
Yeah,
This is tricky with the DKC anchor.
Yeah,
this
that
is
was a
total
9-roll
wipe.
Big Bang too, so the extra 200 to 300 damage proves to be fatal.
Yeah. In many seeds without Sea Hero, your anchor is set up to be as slow as possible, and just because of the way this game was coded, it's the entire ATB system is based off of one person in your party. The way it works out, when you have a very, very slow party member, it makes the turn order very consistent for you, for your party, and for the enemy. But you need, I'm talking very, very low agility. DKC has just enough agility that Zeromus is still as fast as possible, but these Fusoyas, well, one of them has adamant armor, so he's fast enough to also go as fast as possible, but the other one I don't think is what we call relative agility. So I don't think he's RA1. Ends up meaning that Zeromus is going to take actions when you don't expect him to. It kind of messes up the consistency. Yeah, a curse string would have been really nice, but, that requires time and chopping, and just didn't happen to find it along the way. And Joe is a very good runner, has the means to make do.
Chopping's effort. We don't do that around here.
It is effort. And as well, it's pretty good, but yeah, after a certain point, you just, if you don't find a cursed ring, you just kind of have to move on. Unless you get truly walled off by the seed. Or if you're learning, cursed ring is a good learning tool. But it's also one of those training wheels it's also good to take off once in a while. That star veil, that silk web, also very useful if Joe fires that off.
So to give you an idea how fast DKC gets, this DKC should be level 38 without HP, and I would put him at 25 agility.
That is genuinely fast. That is most mages at level 50-ish have that much agility or even less, honestly. So DKC, yeah, 25 agility is not ideal. That means Zeromus is RA2.
Oh, Zeromus is still 1.
Isn't that? Oh no, up to 34. Yeah, he's RA1.
The breakpoint's 28, so the black sword would actually help.
Yeah, Zeromus is still as fast as possible. There are these agility breakpoints where you can. I guess the short answer of this is that if you pretended that there were ATB bars under every party member, right now, Zeromus, when he gets his turn, the ATB bar is 0, and then it just blinks to 1. It's like a switch, practically. If the anchor's agility was higher, that ATB bar instead could be 2, which would mean the ATB bar would go tick to 1 and then to 2. Which, the way things plays out, genuinely gives you a lot more time. Then if you threw a silk web, that would become 4 instead, because the silk web kind of doubles how slow the boss is effectively. But with an RA1, the silk web would just take it from 1 to 2. Now, the way the turn order system kind of works up, it often just doesn't matter, but it matters in this situation quite a bit. Because ideally, you want your party members to all have that one ATB, and you want the boss to have that one ATB, so that they're all just immediately ready to take their turns, and that's why it's so consistent. And with that
Right.
trouble that Joe's had, Tybalt also in this Zeromus fight, we do have a race.
Right, with everyone one, it just becomes very uniform. Like everyone just basically takes turns in order.
Yep. Also, good of Alchemy to point out, this flag set is designed to be as very, very, very kind, but really runners can take the kindest of flags and make them difficult because you're truly trying to optimize how fast that you can go, and when you do so, it is very easy to effectively increase the difficulty in order to go faster. You don't need to do this. You could get the levels instead and take the fight more in that way, and then it would be safer. But it could be slower to do that in this situation. And Tybalt also choosing to go with these this Fusoya strategy. So, pretty tricky setup to do.
And we see again on Joe's side, both Foos surviving this unnerfed Big Bang.
Was that a coffin queued onto DKC? What? Why? Just doesn't want him to take turns, I guess. Might honestly be very smart. You don't have to. I don't know. Also, just why not?
Man, that is
I've carded you around all game.
And Joe shows through this time.
Well done, Joe. GG's. Big GG's to Joe. Barely by the skin of his teeth, but that's that can be free enterprise for you.
Hey, barely winning a fight is still winning.
It is, 111 HP is 110 more than you need.
As any of us who played Magic will tell you, the only life point that matters is the last one.
True. Very true. Though I say that, Big Bang has the sap effect, so you actually want more than one hit point. If your party effectively died before Zeromus is fully gone, you'd actually lose, but that's a weird edge case. Anyway, hi, Joe.
Hi.
Hi.
That was fun.
Yeah. The Seed played, I think, pretty well to your strengths. Tell us about... I'm just curious. Moon stuff. What drew you there?
It's fun.
Yeah, it is. Were you happy to see multiple Fusoyos?
I can take it, probably. Although it took objection to me feeling like I would be able to take it no problem. A lot of those fights did not go well.
No, not ideally, but you still find your way through them. I think a lot of it likely just on, carding around that DKC.
Did not realize that the elements decide to absorb wholly for no reason.
Yep.
Welcome to the club of figuring that out.
Yeah, most of the forms, if you don't hit them with their elemental weakness, they will absorb everything else.
Of course they do.
Because reasons.
I'm like,
I love that form you can cure for it just fine, but yeah, holy, yeah. No.
Yeah, I just looked at my spells, saw like Ice 2 and Cure 2, and went Meteo?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Whoops.
DKC was a treat. That one was close, but yeah, I apparently needed to beat every boss on the moon, especially so I could get nuked. Glad I caught that before I got to Zeromus.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, we were speculating that maybe you wanted the experience, but just getting nuke made more sense, and yeah, good to notice that and just kind of get that out of the way. So the Zeromus fight. Kind of curious that first time through. Foo strats can be a little tricky to set up.
I
Kind of curious what happened for you there, from your perspective.
it with the lack of elixirs and stuff, it was I had to be getting every action I could, and so when I go and have Rosa do a silk web that does nothing, decide to go and throw a veil on Fu because I didn't realize DKC was likely to survive even the nerf, so I was putting a veil up to make sure I had the one, which that could have just been a nuke. That was the adamant Fu. I also forgot to equip the Stardust Rod on the second Fu, so lost a bit of damage there. So overall, I just was hair slower, which made that second fate, that after that second Big Bang, I didn't quite get back up in time to finish the fight. This time, I was going to, I believe, I was going to probably I was going to make sure to heal up Fu, and then randomly Zeromus just fell down dead. I'm like, oh, dead. Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah, it's true with these with this specific strategy. Every single action matters. So yeah, that was well explained. Also, GG's Tybalt also through the time of 1 hour 22 minutes 20 seconds.
Ooh, GG's Tybalt.
Yeah.
I was underground for people.
Empty. Understandably.
Now we know where the one required item was, and
Yep.
Yeah, not terribly difficult. Adamant armors were for sale in Eblin, Cave Eblin. It's pretty funny watching Tybalt scrounge up money for for $500,000 for that very good piece of armor.
I had to recheck the flags quick while I was doing the hair dryers. If it was vanilla traps, I was going to use the second hourglass on the warlock chest and hope for an adamant armor from there.
Yeah, very smart. Also just an
But
infusion of experience. Yeah.
no vanilla traps meant no.
Yeah, not interested in the double dragons.
I don't think that would have gone quite nicely considering here's my shopping for equipment. Oh, they're Stardust rods. I can't buy them.
Yeah.
Alright, let's clear out the moon. Hey, I have money for the Stardust rods now.
Yeah, you kind of had Power Shirt, Edward, and Blinks, and Berserk, and yeah, it was enough though.
Yep.
Also getting a music check from Tybalt, thank you for that. I also want to appreciate that Dark Knight Cecil held your Goba. Just kind of chef's kiss.
Yeah. That is actually a pretty fun fact.
Also, apparently, Alchemy says that you and Lunarval have history in this club.
Yeah, I don't necessarily get all of them, but Val on the Moon does tend to be a mainstay. There was a good last one that really comes to mind was the 5 Rydia, the only Rydia mystery-esque seed, where we had a hard required double objective Val on the Moon.
Yeah,
with
Dave
only
was talking
Rydia.
about that one. Pretty funny.
So that's
I imagine
the
that
big
was
one that comes to mind.
yeah. I imagine that was like a missed whip situation or something. Artemis Bow.
I did in fact forge and have Mist Whip, which saved me a decent amount of time there.
Yeah. Well, this club's always a fun time.
Yep.
I like the flags and kind of the odd little seeds that we get from it. Anyway, that's about it for me for questions. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was mostly just gonna say, this club's always fun to see whether it's going to just be Jet Seed, Power Seed, Mean Seed, Leans
Oh,
a leans a little heavy to the RNG gods are against us sometimes, but
it's always interesting, at least, right?
yeah.
Yeah, like I said, that's about it for me. How about you, Dave?
I think you've covered everything about this seed.
Well,
All right.
in that case,
Joan,
I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll let Tybalt in here.
Yeah, thanks for racing and showcasing, what you do. Go enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Will do.
All right, that was Judge Joe. We're gonna get Tybalt in, most likely, do a little chit chat, and then let y'all also go on with the rest of your afternoon. And there he is. Hey, welcome in, Tybalt.
Hey.
GG's.
So, how was the quest for the admin armor?
Oh,
That was my first question, too.
So expensive, and then you find one with Gomo. It's like, come on. And the pigtail, like. Once you buy one, they all start showing up.
Yep. I love the enthusiasm of, oh, I've looted all of Cave Alba, and surely I can... Wait, no. Okay, oh, I've looted all of Castle Alba, and surely I can... crap.
They roll a little low today. Like, it's just...
Yeah, unfortunate. I mean, 500,000 is still a lot, but yeah, T-Wildish, you can really get tons and tons and tons of money.
I mean, Sheila had a Crystal Sword, Dragoon Lance, and Excal in the Fame Arch. Like...
Yeah. But yeah, sometimes the shopping the looting gambles like that, they don't pay out, and we can laugh about it at least.
Oh, yeah. And once I had the food, I'm like, I just need like an adamant armor, and I've got Z on lockdown. Like, I just need one piece of gear. I'm good.
Yeah, and well showcased, by the way, getting through Zeromus first time. Joe had to take that fight twice. Pretty tricky, but pretty well done.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky, especially when you can't really manipulate Cecil's agility, since he's Dark Knight Cecil. You really only have the Black Sword and Cursed Ring that can really manipulate. I got lucky enough for him to be sitting at 23 without the Black Sword.
So you put the Black Sword on?
Yep, put the Black Sword on, I got him 28, made ZRA 2. I'm like,
yep, that's very likely the difference, actually, in just the difficulty of the fight. So, yeah. Well done. Well noticed.
That was the whole reason why I was, at least when it came to, like, the Fame Arch bosses or, like, top of tower, I really didn't care about experience because who really doesn't need any?
Yep.
Why don't I just take the objective that I need to, the place I need to do and take that experience, which just so happened to be 100,000. All right, fine.
Yeah, I really just need the spell nuke, all told, for that fight.
Mm-hmm.
And some health.
Yeah, I'm glad that Kane actually survived. I timed that last jump perfectly.
Oh, for the DKC? Yeah, that was fun.
That's a different flag sets meta, but still good job on that.
Oh, is it? That's great.
Hey, this club has always been so much fun. When it comes to the different style of meta objectives, forcing yourself not to get Paladin Cecil. It's like, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially when all the shiny sticks are showing up. Like, instantly, first shop I see, Crystal Sword for sale.
Excal was in, like, the second shop or something also. Yeah, pretty funny. Yeah, we were talking about this with Joe. Yeah, we were talking about this with Joe, too. Yeah, this club seems to be a fun time.
So
if you ever wanted to race it, y'all watching, just come join our Discord. We run this club every Saturday afternoon.
And it kind of showcases each individual character as a hero. So it kind of dips your toes into hero flag and kind of makes you think each time of how you're going to get through the season. How are you going to do the meta objective?
Yep.
Some are easier than others.
Absolutely, absolutely. Like DKC, or Rosa, who can't cast white magic. That's also a fun one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Alchemy is letting us know. So this is our club captain that Baron's Hero's Journey is going to go on hiatus now because our tournament league is starting up soon. But it'll be back. The club will be back after that tournament, and this has been a kind of a regular favorite. So this club tends to always be around, and we'll have new flag sets this time. Apparently, it's pretty neat.
Ooh, I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
That also means new meta objectives, likely. We'll see. We'll see.
New and exciting ways to break the randomizer.
Look, that was season
But,
1.
All right, sir. That's about it for me. How about you, Dave?
No, I think we're good here.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I do enjoy watching these matches. Thanks for doing the comms, both Dave and Solaris. Thanks to Alchemy for doing the research, but also coming up with this club. This has always been an enjoyment for my Saturdays. I make sure I get up to actually run them. Thanks to North Pickle for doing the tracking. I bet it was a lot of fun me resetting out of everything to untrack and retrack items.
Yeah. Yeah, this was fun. Yeah. Have a good rest of your day, Tubble.
Yep, GG.
All right, blink and you miss it. That was Baron Hero's Journey. This was fun, Dave. A little bit of birthday comms for me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so I hope I hope this has been a good part of your birthday. I hope the rest of it goes fantastic as well.
Yeah, thanks. I think I'm gonna go get some nice food. Kind of what Alchemy was saying earlier. It's a good plan for birthday, and maybe buy myself a game and just kind of chill. But yeah, that's it for us. We are gonna be heading over to Yogi the Monk. They're doing their second ever free enterprise seed. So remember, this is, for a new runner, just be kind. No spoilers for this race. I don't know if they're gonna come back to want to watch it, so just don't. But yeah, just go and spread the good cheer and welcome a new member of the community. And otherwise, yeah, that's it for me. That's it for Dave. And for the Restream team, Alchemy and Darth Plagueil, thank you both very much. Have a good one.